Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host Fondue.
I'm Cheesy.
In this week's episode, we're going to be honoring the upcoming holiday, Mac and Cheese Day.
Woo, woo.
We're going to talk about the history of mac and cheese, a soup in Hong Kong,
Yum.
mac and cheese tiramisu,
What?
and we're going to find out where you can get some special deals on this day.
Ooh.
We're going to hear about Kraft popcorn,
Whoa.
Kraft dinnerware,
Wow.
and we're going to find out what happened to a raccoon that choked on some cheese.
Oh no.
And of course, we tell our very cheesy jokes.
Jump.
Stay tuned for episode 138, Max, on Just Cheesy, the podcast. According to nationaltoday.com, July 14th is National Mac and Cheese Day.
Yay.
And this isn't our first rodeo.
Nope.
We've talked about mac and cheese before.
Yeah, we have.
Back in episode 1, season 7,
Yep.
and back in season 2, episode 9,
Yeah.
we talked all about mac and cheese.
Right.
Links to these episodes are in our show notes.
Nice.
What we learned was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese is not a Kraft invention.
Yeah.
The yellow stuff in a box that Kraft makes goes back to 1937.
Yep.
But mac and cheese is likely much older.
Ooh.
Mac and cheese dates back all the way to the 1300s.
Holy cow.
An Italian cookbook
Oh boy.
called Liber di Coquina.
Ah.
This is one of the oldest medieval cookbooks.
Ooh.
This cookbook actually features a dish of Parmesan and pasta.
Whoa.
The people at nationaltoday.com cite a recipe book in England from the 1300s called Form of Curry.
Whoa.
And according to historydollop.com, there's a recipe called macros.
Oh, boy.
And they say this is more like a lasagna than mac and cheese.
Really?
The recipe says to take and make a thin foil of dough,
Okay.
slice it into pieces, put it in boiling water and cook it well.
Okay.
Then you take grated cheese and butter and you layer above as lasagna.
Ooh, yum.
Fast forward to 1769 and there's a macaroni and cheese recipe
Okay.
included in a book called The Experienced English Housekeeper.
Whoa.
In the 1824 cookbook called The Virginia Housewife, there's also a mac and cheese recipe.
Wow.
Mac and cheese even gets credited to Thomas Jefferson
Whoa.
and his slave, James Hemmings, where they actually encountered macaroni in Paris and brought a recipe back to the U.S.
Oh, that's right.
And of course, the orange delight that we know as mac and cheese, or if you're in Canada, you know it as Kraft dinner.
Yeah.
Well, this one was made in 1937.
Yep.
In the 30s, Kraft was not the first to come up with this idea.
Whoa.
A salesman from Missouri, Grant Leslie, had the idea to sell macaroni pasta and cheese together as a package.
Okay.
He began attaching grated cheese to boxes of pasta with a rubber band.
Okay.
But shelf life reigned supreme. Kraft's version of this mac and cheese had a shelf life of 10 months.
Whoa.
And for Canadians, this was great because many homes didn't have refrigerators.
Wow.
World War II contributed to the popularity.
Okay.
There was rationing of milk and dairy products.
Oh, yeah.
There were a lot of meatless meals,
Ooh.
and more women were working outside the home. This created the need for hearty, quick meals.
Yeah.
Kraft mac and cheese was so popular that it sold 50 million boxes during World War II.
Holy cow.
If you fast forward to today, 7 million boxes of Kraft mac and cheese are sold globally every week.
Holy cow.
Did you know that macaroni soup is a breakfast staple in Hong Kong?
It is?
According to foodnetwork.ca, there is something called macaroni soup.
Okay.
It usually comes with ham
Ooh.
or spam, as well as a fried egg.
Yum.
Sometimes veggies are added, like steamed broccoli, or sometimes the ham is replaced with poached chicken.
Whoa.
Foodnetwork.ca has a recipe. They call for 1 cup of dry pasta,
Okay.
3 cups of no salt added chicken broth,
Okay.
1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 2 slices of Black Forest ham, and 1 egg.
Yum.
I think that sounds pretty good, but this next one is a little bit strange to me.
Yeah, it is.
According to secretglasgow.com,
Okay.
there's a spot that's serving up mac and cheese tiramisu
What? Why?
at the SMAC event, which stands for the Scottish Macaroni Appreciation Club.
So cool.
They have an all-you-can-eat mac and cheese event that takes place every month. Each event has a different theme, and the most recent was Italian themed.
Sure.
There's a video embedded in the secretglasgow.com link in our show notes. I guess you'll have to make up your own mind if this looks good.
Not so much.
According to thedailymeal.com, Kraft mac and cheese popcorn is available exclusively online at the popcorn factory.
Ooh.
There have been a lot of people online recommending that you actually take the packet from your Kraft mac and cheese and sprinkle that on microwave popcorn.
Ooh.
But this is already made.
Okay.
And according to this author, they were underwhelmed.
Aw.
According to Monica Sudakov, she anticipated an intense burst of flavor.
Yeah.
She said there was just a little saltiness and very little of the umami richness that she's come to associate with the classic mac and cheese.
Aw.
She said while it didn't live up to her expectations, it wasn't terrible, and
Okay.
she would like to see it have a more amplified flavor.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with making mac and cheese, you know sometimes it stains the bottom of your bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Well, never fear.
Okay.
There's actually Kraft dinnerware that has a pre-stained looking bowl.
What?
That's right. On the website annsandra.com, there is Kraft dinnerware. It's a set of 3.
Okay.
It's 2 bowls and a serving spoon. And it says here, you may already have your go-to dishware that features a cheesy golden hue, thanks to your love for Kraft Dinner's mac and cheese.
Okay.
These elevated, elegant pieces
Sure.
use the iconic cheesy golden hue as design inspiration.
Elevated?
In my opinion, if you want your dishes to already look dirty, these are the ones for you.
Yeah.
And Sandra and Kraft are not sponsors.
Nope.
But if they were, the ad would go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah.
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
They do?
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay!
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY, that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay, Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. We will have links in our show notes to all of the deals that we're going to mention,
Yep.
as well as on our website in our new blog.
Ooh.
Check out noodles.com. They're having something they call Macapalooza.
Fun.
Their rewards members get a $1 side of mac and 2 extra points on mac and cheese purchases.
Ooh.
And they also have something called Mac Mashups.
Ooh, yum.
They have a 4-cheese Alfredo mac,
Ooh.
crispy jalapeno mac,
Ooh.
and a cheesy broccoli mac.
Yummy.
MainStreetBistro.com has a coupon and a sweepstakes.
Whoa.
The coupon is for $1 off of their 17 to 32 ounce items.
Nice.
But the sweepstakes sounds awesome.
Yeah.
They're giving 3 lucky winners a year's supply of their restaurant quality mac and cheese.
Holy cow.
They'll even deliver a different variety every month.
Whoa.
According to GuiltyEats.com, KFC is getting in on the action.
Whoa.
First, let's talk about National French Fry Day on the 12th.
Ooh, yeah.
KFC rewards members get an order of fries any size with any minimum purchase.
Wow.
And they say even as low as 1 penny.
Whoa.
From the 14th through the 15th, rewards members can get a free mac and cheese, any size. And again, this is with any purchase.
Nice.
If you haven't had an opportunity to check out our blog section on justcheesy.com,
Yeah.
you might want to do so because
Yeah.
all of these links will be featured there.
Right.
It's time for my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
There is no way I can do this story justice.
Nope.
You have to click on this link and go to the video.
Yes.
It is hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
According to CBSNews.com, 3 guys had a cookout.
Yeah.
They were making burgers.
Yep.
They had American cheese slices.
They did.
They say the raccoon came up and took a slice of cheese.
Right.
And all of a sudden they noticed it was in distress.
Oh, no.
Now, this is the part of the story that isn't videoed yet.
Right,
but these
right.
guys telling it was just a hoot.
Yeah, it was.
They're talking about the raccoon. It eats a piece of cheese.
Yep.
It gets lodged in its throat.
Yeah.
And they said the raccoon was making the international sign for choking and it was pointing at its neck.
Oh,
Of course, one of the guys sprung into action and he started hitting the back of the raccoon trying to
Yeah.
dislodge the cheese.
he did.
This is where the video comes in, and this guy is hitting this raccoon
Yeah.
like you've never seen before, and the raccoon's there for it.
Yeah, I was.
One of the guys says that the raccoon was leaning back into it like, help me out, brother. At some point in the video, you see something fly out of the raccoon's mouth.
Yeah.
Obviously, they dislodged the cheese.
They did.
And the raccoon survived, and he kind of woozily went into the woods.
Yeah.
The interview includes animal behavior expert Dr. Suzanne McDonald, and she says she's seen it all.
Oh, yeah.
She's been bitten by it all. She's been pooped on before.
Yeah.
But she doesn't recommend slapping raccoons or any other animal in the back. But she also says it wasn't like he was giving him mouth to mouth or anything. And she indicates that a choking animal can likely not bite you.
Yeah, sure.
The guys thought the poor raccoon was going to die, so they just sprung into action.
Yeah.
Please check out the link to the video in our show notes.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay. What do you call mac and cheese that gets in your face?
I don't know.
Too close for comfort food.
Oh, that's so silly.
Yeah, it was super silly and a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, episode 138, Mac.
Thank you.
Don't forget to check out our blog on
And
www.justcheesy.com.
stay cheesy, everybody.